Well, our thought leadership report looks at the parlour state of the construction industry. What we're looking at is ideas that will help to stimulate the construction industry, and scrappage, i.e. replacement of existing buildings or existing building components with more sustainable components, is an idea that we're putting forward. Today's event is about trying to provide solutions, putting forward ideas that will help to kickstart the construction industry, which we all know is not in very good health at the moment. It's also about addressing the sustainable issues that face the industry and how combining different solutions might solve both problems.
Well, the GVA scrappage scheme for buildings is an interesting idea. It's got supporters amongst people with secondary or clapped out property where they've got bank debt and problems with repaying their debt, and it could help them spend some money, some much needed money on their buildings to improve them at a time when they haven't really got much extra cash to spare.
Debate's terrific, you know, and I think that the big difference over the last few years in the way that the industry is approaching the issue is that everybody's up for the discussion at least.
It's very much playing to something that we've been advocating for a long time, which is finding some form of incentive to make it easier for the commercial property industry to change the buildings, which change their building stock, which at the moment it is quite difficult to do. If you have an extensive portfolio of existing buildings, you have a certain rent roll. It is physically, financially impossible for you to bring forward a refurbishment programme because there isn't the cash in the system to do it. Now, if you can provide the right sort of financial incentives, then you will tip some of those people who wouldn't have done it into actually getting on with it.
Well, what we're not advocating is a wholesale demolition of all buildings and replacement with new sustainable buildings. There's too much embodied energy and carbon in existing structures, but an awful lot of those existing structures house elements and component parts that are inefficient.
In summary, the scrappage system will offer a rebate to property owners for them to replace inefficient aspects of their building components. On a basic level, that could include double glazing of windows, boilers, improving insulation, but it could be extended to full refurbishment or redevelopment of buildings.
I think one of the challenges for the property owning and investing industry is making them want to change their buildings, probably rather faster than they would normally change them in the natural sort of cycle of refurbishment. Now, various things could make them change. Customer pressure, regulation, they're going to get fined or locked up if they don't do something, but actually offering some form of financial incentive to make these people change their buildings and do something they wouldn't naturally be doing today or tomorrow, but perhaps in 10 or 20 years' time, I actually think it would be quite a good idea.
Let's have a plan to decarbonise the whole economy. Let's try and stay 2 or 3 years ahead of the rest of the world in doing that, and we've already got some catching up to do against some of our international competitors. So we have a proposition to sell on a global basis, but don't get so far ahead that you're diminishing the national coffer and really in truth not changing the planet situation.
Well done to GVA and LLA for promoting this debate, because it was closer in the end, our discussion, than I'd imagined.
Well, we hope that the government will listen to our issues and that we have a lively debate, and that effectively our ideas for getting the UK construction industry back into gear and also helping the sustainability agenda at the same time are shown to have good merit.